Welcome back to the channel. My name is Cody. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Thursday on my business adventures and how it can help you go faster than yours. Today I am in my sixplex that I bought with no money out of pocket. Shout out to Cam for funding this purchase. Bought this a little while ago, and today I want to share a real estate lesson because I don't do a whole lot on this channel about that, but I want to get you over the mindset shift that some people have issues with, and it comes down to value. How you quantify a value when some people are going to tell you something's worth less or more, and how to get confidence when going into a deal. And I want to share a little real-time example of why I want to create this video. I'm working on getting a loan on this property, and one of the lenders said, we're going to cap our valuation at what you paid for it, plus the renovations, because you're within a 1-year window. I had another lender say, because you're in a six-month window, your valuation will be capped at your cost basis. Same thing. Well, what someone else determines as a value is not actually what it's worth, especially in the investment world. And the reason I say that is if I paid 200 grand for this building, they're going to cap the value at what I paid plus my renovation. If I pay 100,000 for the building, they're going to cap it at the 100,000 plus the renovation. They're going to value it based off of my ability to get a good deal, which doesn't really align with incentives. If you're thinking about, well, if I want to buy something and borrow against it and make a bunch of money relatively quickly, I can borrow more money if I pay more. Well, that creates an issue. And for a lot of people getting started, you might feel stuck. So I want to create this video to say that your valuation, you're going to have to get really clear on your numbers, because the professionals and the people in the space are going to go off of whatever you negotiated. So if you negotiate a really good deal, more often than not, they're still going to lend you based off of your really good deal. And if you pay a little bit more and it's still a decent deal, they're probably going to lend off of that number. So you need to be crystal clear on what you're looking for, because while you can look to them for money or guidance, they're going to be basing their projections off of what you put together. So you have to be the professional. You got to do your due diligence and understand how things are really valued. And in investment real estate, it's valued based off of the net income something can produce or the net income that it does produce. Now, on this specific deal, we bought it for $115,000. We're going to be in it all in around $150,000, and it should be worth about $375,000. But here's the thing. In real estate as well, on the investment side, you have to be careful, because if I wanted to go flip this for $375,000, I'm probably only going to get someone that wants to buy it for $330,000 to $340,000. Because while something may be worth a certain number on an income approach, if it's not like a supersized institutional deal, people are going to want to get a discount, especially investors. It's really easy to go flip a house, get it to be worth $400,000, sell it for $400,000. However, what I found from my adventures is that you get something to be worth $400,000, an investor wants to buy it for $360,000, $380,000. They want a deal. Because even if it's worth something, people don't pay what it's worth. They want to get just below what it's worth, as far below as they can. But when it's a stabilized asset, even if it's 100% stabilized, they're going to get a great return. Most investors in small to mid-sized real estate want to get below value. And you have to be aware of that when you're building a portfolio, because if you think you're going to do it just like a house, well, big learning lesson that I had to experience is I can get it to be worth $3.9 million and someone's only going to offer me 3.6. And that's going to be the market value in quotes, because that's what someone's willing to pay. However, it could actually be worth more. So don't fall into the trap of thinking you're going to go buy something and it's going to be worth X and you're going to sell it for that same value. It's realistically not going to happen. I've found that to be true with all of my deals. I've always had to discount on appraisal. Every multifamily property that I've ever traded out of, always sold at a discount. And maybe there's ways to get around that, but I found consistently that playing in this space, that's something that I've had to do. It's probably something you're going to have to do. So as you're growing your portfolio, make sure you're aware of it. Just because it's worth X amount of value doesn't mean you're actually going to get that if you sell. But what that does allow you to do is go into deals with confidence of, if you're doing the long-term strategy, you can start to predict your valuations based off the net income and a cap rate, which is just your cash on cash return if you were to pay cash, take your total income, subtract out your operational expenses, not including debt, and divide that number by whatever your expected cash on cash return needs to be if you pay cash in any given area. That'll give you a predictable value that you can borrow against with time. But that's only going to really help you if you're doing the long-term approach. If you're doing the short-term approach, again, you're going to have to, if you're trying to flip stuff and sell stuff, which I don't recommend, you're going to have to discount your values on your actual appraised value, because most people don't want to buy an investment for what it's worth. They want to get a good deal. So that's my 2 cents for today from my sixplex with the really weird building. This is upstairs. But again, if I were to sell this, I'm not going to be able to sell it for $375. Probably going to have to sell it for $340, $350, maybe $330. But on a refinance, once this is fully stabilized, get 70% loan to value on that $375 on a predictable 8% cap rate. The main message, your value is really going to be dependent on your strategy. And if you're trying to sell stuff, you're never going to get top dollar. If you have the long-term hold, you will have more money on your balance sheet. You also won't have the closing costs of the sale, and you'll make more money in the long term. So I hope this helps. See everybody on the next video.